the DG Outdoors channel, guys. In today's video, we're going to do a review on the CV Life 1-inch high profile 3/8 or 11mm inch dovetail scope rings. Okay, these were sent to me by my friends over at CV Life. I asked to do a review on them and personally requested them because not all air guns use 20mm scope rings like these. Now you may be asking, what are these? Why are these different? These are actually smaller. These go on .22 rifles. They go on certain air guns. They go on guns that don't have a Weaver or Picatinny rail system. Okay, so let's start out with these. Okay, this is the original CV Life 3x9x40 scope that I got to review the last time from CV Life. Okay, and these have what they call 20mm scope rings on them. Okay, and 20mm scope rings go on guns like these. Most of your AR platforms now, most of your rifles are sporting this Picatinny or Weaver rail system that your scope goes on. So the gap here is wider than the gap that these scope rings have. Okay, so what guns have the 11mm dovetail? Well, okay, I'm going to use these as an example because these are the guns that I have. Firearms or air rifles that look like this, okay, they have the dove ring slots, and these are 3/8 or 11mm. Okay, that is where you're going to want scope rings like this to fit on there. Or this is the air gun it's going on, okay, and I have a VSA scope that I'm actually going to use with these to put on here to show you guys how well they fit on there. Like your 760 Pump Master is 11mm, okay, your Daisy air rifles are 11mm just like that, okay, unless you buy a conversion kit to turn the 11mm dovetail scope mounts into a 20mm dovetail. So when they ask me, they're like, this scope that I did the original review on fit on an air rifle. They're like, a lot of our customers say that they don't fit on an air rifle. Do you know why? And I'm like, well, some air rifles don't have the 20mm mounts like this air rifle does. So guys, let's take a look at these real quick. Okay, they are your standard scope rings. You're going to get two standard scope rings in the pack. Okay, here's what they look like. Alright, and these are high profile, so you'll be able to look down, and if you don't want to use your scope, you can still use the open sights on your firearm if you have them. So again, they're going to come with two of them. Alright, they are going to take a hex key, okay, or an Allen wrench, and they have them, that comes with an Allen wrench to use. And the good thing about these are, this one right here, they actually have some material down in there that's going to protect your scope from getting scraped up and scrape the finish off your scope. So, here's what I'm going to do, guys. I've got a BSA Sweet 22 scope, and we're going to put the scope rings on here, and then we're going to put them on the gun and see how well they do. It's blowing about 40 miles an hour outside. The wind is crazy, so I will not be doing a shooting video today. But we are going to be putting it on this Winchester 77XS. That's May 98s for a better scope on there. So that's what I'm doing. Alright, y'all, so I have this mostly installed here. These actually went on really well, okay? You just clamp them on right here, okay? And then you put your scope down like this. Okay, it sits in there. Now this is a 1-inch scope rings. And then you put the top on like this. And you screw it on there. And we're actually going to slide this up a little bit. So, just like that. So here in a second, we're going to pause this. I'm going to get this put on here and show you guys what it looks like when it's done. Alright, y'all, all I'm doing is putting these last 2 screws in right here. Pretty simple. Okay. The reason I sat down is because I was tired of fumbling with the screws and I really didn't want to drop them. So just go in like this. Okay. They actually thread in real easy. And yeah. So I got one more screw to put in here. So far. I've already checked it to see if the scope is straight. So far these went on real easy on this rail right in here. Went on real easy. Same exact kind of rail that's on your 760 Pump Masters. And they went down real easy. And they're totally adjustable. And the cool thing is, they're they're high mounts, so you can actually see the open sights through the scope mount, just like the other one. So, if you look down here, you can see really well. And I think these things are really sturdily made. One thing you're going to have to check is after shooting this a while, is that the screws don't come untight. And you may have to just tighten them down. But like I said, it's raining and super duper windy outside and everything. So it was a good day to do an inside review on these scope rings that are actually made for guns that don't have a Picatinny rail system. So you guys can get a decent scope and have these rings and still use it for any air gun that you need to. Alright, so here in a second I'm going to have May98 look through the scope and tell me how well she can see and if I need to adjust it for her. For me, this is perfect. Alright, May98, so look down the scope as if you were going to shoot it.
I can actually see it a lot better now that we got this new scope rings on.
Yeah. Now, if you look underneath it,
I can still see the
open
white
sight
dot here. Yeah.
On your front blade sight. That's good. This thing is super solid. How solid is it? You feel it? Can you move it?
Mm-mm.
No. And I think they're gonna hold up really, really nice. So, and that's a really nice scope. That's a BSA Sweet 22 scope, I think. So it's made for a 22 rifle, and I think it's gonna go good on that air rifle for you. So, yeah. And this thing keeps blurring in and out, so there's not a lot of light here.
Trying to focus.
Yeah. Alright, y'all, so if you guys want to get a CB Life 11mm scope or 3/8, same thing, same measurement, scope rings from CB Life, I highly recommend it so far. Yeah, weather's not great to be outside, which is why I decided to do this review today. And yeah, so if you guys have an air rifle that doesn't have, or a 22 or anything like that, or a high-powered rifle, whatever, that doesn't have the Picatinny rail like I showed you guys before, like the ARs do and everything, or most air rifles that are made these days have them, then this is a great option to use. So I will leave a link to the CB Life Shooting and Enthusiast Facebook page down in the description. Okay, and I hope you all remember, like, comment, subscribe. Jesus loves you, and I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.